are here today at Kobi Karp's Architecture's headquarters. I want to show you inside. It's truly incredible, and Kobi Karp is the most renowned architect here in Miami, so come check it out. Well, we're here with Kobi Karp, renowned architect. Thank you so much, Kobi, for welcoming us in your amazing headquarters.
Good to be here.
It's incredible.
You should come here more often.
Yes, true.
Yes.
True, and I will. It's such a great place to come. We have pickleball, we have a food truck, we have great coffee and drinks all the time.
And you bring your Peruvian, vibe over here. It's nice. It's very nice.
Kobi, you were born in Israel.
1962.
Okay, and then you studied in Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, I got there when I was 1974 until 1988. I came here.
And you landed in Miami.
I landed in Miami. It was a little different. It was Miami Vice and Scarface days.
Right, I was gonna ask you that. How?
And but it was good. It was nice because I joined a British firm that was building all-inclusive resorts and hotels in the Caribbean.
Right.
St. Lucia, Grenada, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas. So it was quite enlightening, and it was very nice at that time to work in Miami.
And you were how old then?
I was 25 in 1988, and I continued to work in the Caribbean all through the late 80s and early 90s. We were busy in Grenada, St. Lucia, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Jamaica. It was a busy time for us.
And then in the 90s you opened your firm.
No, what happened is that my partners decided that we were growing our footprint in Miami. And they decided that they did not wish to work in Miami. They liked the Caribbean more. And they stayed in the Caribbean. Simon stayed in Turks, Lane stayed in St. Lucia, another one stayed in Martinique. And so we were all over. But I was here, I got married. That's the wedding picture up here. Everybody came to the wedding, 1993. But by 1995, everybody kind of wanted to be out of Miami. But I wanted to be here, I stayed here. And Miami has been good, Florida has been good to me.
It has been, yes. And what was that moment that changed everything for you, because you really became huge here? I mean, how many projects have you done here?
I don't count,
But the most renowned ones, for sure.
One of the most renowned ones when I was first starting out was we did the Hotel Astor in 1993. It was a renovation, restoration for Kareem Masri. May he rest in peace, great guy. He bought the hotel. We did a gut rehab, expanded it, connected it, did a glass piano-shaped atrium. And what happened is that hotel was very successful for a long time. So that was kind of a prelude. Later on in life, we did other projects like the restoration preservation of the Caribbean condominium, the Cadillac, and even the surf club. The surf club was cutting edge at that point in time when we designed it in 2012, 2013. But I think the pivoting point was when Hurricane Andrew hit. There was a transformation of how people thought about hurricane impact and sustainability and resiliency in Florida. And I think that was a pivoting point for many designers and architects, including myself, at that point in time.
So you started with a small studio back in the day, and now you have this incredible headquarters. And how was your vision when you started, and how has it evolved to what it has become?
I think design is dynamic, and the evolution of the office also is dynamic. We have great people here. Most of them are not from Florida, meaning they were not born in the United States or in Florida. But many of them live here and work here forever, and they make their life here. The studio that you see here essentially evolved to become what it is today through the people that there are here. Yes, I'm wonderful. Yes, I'm great. Yes, I'm the best. But that's nonsense. What really matters is on a daily basis to have great people surround you.
Right.
Who then are able to provide a better product and a better service and a better project to the end user. And the end user is not the developer or the client that pays us. Many times the end user is the people, like you just told me about the seaway, right? Well, how did you design the seaway, and was it preservation and restoration of a historic structure? And then the end person that lives at the surf club or the seaway or the Arte or the Grand Venetian or whatever building you've done over the years, that they live there and they like it. So that is really the success story that you can rely upon.
How many people you have working for you now in your company?
We have about 80, 90 here in Florida. We also do work internationally. So we have about 20, 30 people outside the office. From Peru.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to Switzerland, to Finland, to Spain, to Israel.
Incredible.
We have people in those locations. I've been a resident of Abu Dhabi since 2004.
Wow.
We are currently working on a project like that one over there. We finished in Turkmenistan,
Wow.
Azerbaijan, Honduras. We just finished a eco-resort called Indura, which is an eco-resort residences and hotel. Very sustainable and resilient, built by local materials. For people from Honduras, Nicaragua, who come in and buy a house and they stay there with their friends and family for an extended period of time. So that's kind of what we do. We're just finishing a hotel in Grenada, Spice Island Inn. We started it with the father, Royston Hopkins. Now the daughter, Janelle, she runs the show. So that's what we do. It's ongoing, relationships with people for years and decades.
Right. So that was a question I had, like how, when you want to expand your business, like you have done, like how do you keep your essence, in every project you do, having so many employees around the world and everything? What's the one design rule that you have,
I think the design rule is like people. Like you and I talking today. Mm-hmm. If we're going to have this conversation 10 years from now, it's not going to be the same as it is today. And if you and I would have had this discussion 10 years ago, it would have not been the same.
Right.
The way we are today is dynamic as we go through life. Same thing with design. Grenada. I'm working with the daughter, Janelle. She's great. We're doing new things, cutting edge for Spice Island Inn, which is the next generation. Her father, who I started to work with, Royston, passed away. He came to us and he said, I want you to do an interior remodeling to this old historic hotel resort in Grenada. And it's a very luxury resort. It's kind of a place where the monarchy from England comes and stays. Mm-hmm. And so we did the work, and as life has it, 2 years later came a hurricane through Grenada and wiped out the hotel. And at that point in time, what we did is we took it upon ourselves not only to renovate the hotel, but also add what always needed, was seaside casitas, mm-hmm. so that the rooms have a view of the water, and the area where we're building low-rise in the front is like more of a tranquil sort of a scenario. Mm-hmm. And that is the most important thing that we can do. We can look at it, each one individually and separately, and buildings are like people. They become personal relationships, and that's what we do. The site in Grenada, the site in Honduras I gave you, the surf club. Yeah. The solution for the surf club with historic preservation and restoration along a 900-foot front. People said, oh, Kobi, you're wasting your time there. The developer has no experience. Surfside has a bad reputation. It is not Bell Harbor, and it's not Miami Beach.
That's incredible how mm-hmm. things have changed.
And things change like that because what happens is that you have a dialogue and a thought process of what it is that you are at that point in time. When the surf club was designed by Russell Pancoast essentially 100 years ago. And the way it is 100 years later, it was designed at a point in time to appeal to service. The mostly men crowd, white men, Anglo-Saxon Protestant, well-to-do, who used the surf club as their beach club because their homes were on Indian Creek. And on Indian Creek, they would fly in and they would have a good time and they would play golf and then they would go to the beach club. And then they would have the boat in the Bell Harbor Marina.
Right.
And they would take the boat out. At that point, they didn't have a cut. So between Fort Lauderdale and Miami, where there's a cut to let the ships out, they made a little cut for themselves. It's called haul over. And so you can imagine the power that these individuals had to be able to control the United States Army Corps of Engineers, to let them penetrate between the bay and the ocean. And they did. And the reason they did that, when you start to look at it, they went to the club and then they played golf at Indian Creek and then they would jump on their yacht and they would go out to the ocean, because in the 20s and 30s there was prohibition in the USA. You couldn't drink. So what they did is they took the boat out and went to Havana. There you can drink. There you can smoke Cuban cigars. There you could gamble. All the things that you were not allowed to do in the USA, they were able to do. 100 years later, the club is no longer a white exclusionary men's club. They let, besides Protestants, they would let Lutherans, they would let Catholics in, right? Catholics were not allowed. No Roman Catholics, Irish Catholics, no blacks, no Jews.
No Jews, yeah, I remember.
They let orange juice in, grapefruit juice, but that's it. but you know, no blacks, no Latins, and that's what it was. But that was the time.
Right.
100 years
Yeah,
later,
100 years ago.
we were able to design it as such that not only is it inclusive to everybody to buy, but when I went to the Historic Preservation Board in Miami, they said, "Kobi, very nice project. We love the preservation and restoration. But again, it's exclusionary, meaning for rich people. Now rich people will be able to buy there and the general public cannot see the historic building." So that's when we decided to make it into a hotel. And we received another building to float on top of the Crystal Ballroom, which is where the hotel block is.
Right.
And the hotel block is there, and we use the historic spaces as the public spaces for the hotel. It's where you have Lido restaurant, it's where you have the
champagne bar.
The champagne bar.
It's great.
Exactly.
I love it. And also, it's incredible how, you know, there's always that voices, right, in Miami that say, no, you're wasting your time, it's such a bad idea. And then Surfside ended up being a jewel, literally. And that building, especially, I see it, the value that has hold time over time. Very few buildings in Miami can hold values like that.
Yes, the surf club specifically, because it's 900 feet on the ocean, the seaway is additional 300 or so feet. Now we're doing the surf house on the south side, next to Arte.
Next to Arte, yeah.
So those buildings, as a composition of buildings of architecture, are statements about how, when you look to the past or the history of the surf club or the seaway or the surf club, or this, you are able to put them together and use the history as a storytelling, creating value for the end users.
Right.
So people who live there go, wow, this is cool. Look at the stone, look at the tile, look at the fireplace, look at the vaulted ceiling, and then people appreciate it. They appreciate the values that we have there.
Kobi, what keeps you inspired after 30 years in the business?
I think inspiration comes from inside. It comes from inside because if you are able to see your natural physical environment and be inspired by it, it can be a sunrise and it can be a moonrise.
Right.
It can be the water and it can be your kids. It can be the design on the curve of an old Fiat. It can be the design on that marble carved tiger right there from China, right? Those kind of inspirations come in unique form and shape to me, so that it comes from inside. I think it's important to feel well inside, and that is what we designed for. We designed for the good psychological, emotional stability of the space. We don't design because the marble is in fashion or the wood is in fashion. We design because it gives you a good feeling. And that is what life is about. It's like a person. Buildings are like people. If a person feels good to you, you have a conversation, you have a thought, you break bread together, you go on a trip together, you meet them in a school and you share your life together, right? You can come from different backgrounds. And that allows you to flow in a positive manner, having a positive direction, a positive flow, positive vibe, as they say today. It's so critical.
Yeah.
And so that is the inspiration of the space. When the fire happened at Notre Dame, you know, people were calling me up and said, "Oh, Kobi, how could that have happened?" And I said to them, there's a couple of guys working on the roof. The roof is tin metal, and somebody was smoking a cigarette. They flicked the cigarette into the connection where the steeple meets the roof at the cross of the cross, and it warmed up, and that fire caught into the kiln dried timber below, meaning the wood has been there for hundreds of years, unprotected, caught on fire, and just blew up. What is interesting is that, you know, people asked, oh, what could we have done to prevent it? Very simple. You could put a sprinkler system. You could put a fire alarm. You don't want to get it wet. Put a powder spray. There's so many abilities to do that. And today, the French government, every government, is going through their old churches, seeing how it is that they can protect the wooden frame roofs. Same thing in architecture that you and I do here today. We have a discussion and we look at historic buildings and we tell the story of historic buildings. But the surf club, we took it apart and we put it back together. Same thing with the Seaway. Same thing with the other projects that we do, like the Caribbean condominium. We bring you into the historic building, show you the terrazzo floors, and walk you into the new.
Well, without going too far, I mean, look at what happened with the Champlain Towers. So I guess that I'm sure that also brought a lot of, well, it did bring a lot of laws and new ways to prevent this, but it's crazy what happened, and
yes,
it really changed everything from then.
And it was a game changer because it created an opportunity for people now to look into their own buildings, into their own houses.
Right.
And people are doing 40-year certifications and inspections of their buildings and making sure that they are good.
Right.
But regretfully, it took such a deadly experience where 100 people lost their life because really things weren't maintained or preserved.
Right,
or
also.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So I see every time I'm with you, I feel this calmness, and you seem like a very centered and calm person. Is that how you are always as a boss?
I'm always like that.
That's amazing.
I mean, sometimes I lose my cool like everybody else. It's true. And I lose my cool over the most ridiculous, stupid little things that they don't matter. And so, you know, then you step back and you take a breath and you say, well, okay, that was irrelevant to even get excited about. And you move on.
It's true.
Because there are so many important things. And every day, you know, you get up in the morning and the first thing when you open up your eyes, you know, what I say to myself is, thank God, you know, I'm here for another day, right? Moderni. And that is so important to do.
It is so important.
Because it centers you and it makes you appreciate who you are and what you're about. Because what happens is that as you go through life, if you don't have that balance, that pendulum that centers you, everything else can just drive you like sand in the wind. And it's completely irrelevant. The sand dune moves every day. It's irrelevant. It's beautiful, but it moves. What matters is the rock that stays stable. And that's what helps you ground yourself to do what it is that you can do on a daily basis and keep yourself emotionally happy, stable, psychologically, mentally, there. And I think that is important to do.
Yes, I think that probably that's one of the reasons why you have your success, your balance.
Look, success, this is nice. But again, it's only as good as the people who are here.
Yeah, don't minimize it though.
I'm not. There have been great architects before me. Frank Lloyd Wright, Morris Lapidus.
Yeah, but right now it's your time.
Yes,
it's okay.
It is my time, and I'm very grateful for that.
Thank God.
But
yes.
you need to see it in a true perspective. Sure. We're all tools in the product that we do, and what we do and the buildings that we create that hopefully people will enjoy is really something that is very fulfilling, It's kind of like children. I have 2 boys, and whatever it is that I can see that they make other people happy, right? I'm happy that my boys are happy, but I'm more happy when other people, they come to you and they say, oh, thank you very much. This is so nice. They appreciate the architecture that you've done.
Is there something in your bucket list that Kobi Karp hasn't done yet? No. Okay, good.
I've traveled everywhere. I've been everywhere.
Okay.
I've worked in Alaska when I was in college. I've studied monasteries and cloisters around the Alps, from Austria to Switzerland to Germany.
You've done it all.
Deutschland, yes, I've been everywhere. I've been to South Africa and everywhere. China, Vietnam, Cambodia, worked there. And I'm happy with
You're happy here.
I'm happy here. I'm happy in Florida. I love Florida.
Yeah.
I love the United States of America.
Yes, thank God for that.
And in the lower 48, I think that Florida is one of the best states.
Yeah.
Number one, it's surrounded by water, but it's one of the only subtropical weather climates that we have in the lower 48. So I like Florida very much for that. And the USA, arguably, for me, is the best country, one of the best countries in the world. And I think that what makes it great are the people.
Yes.
And the people are a collection of people around the world.
Yes.
Like I asked these guys, where are you from, right? I'm from Venezuela, I'm from Peru, I'm from LaSalle,
And looking back through your career, what do you think it has most impacted you? Like, is it the people? Is it the success of the project, which I know is not? Is it your family? Is it what it is? Do you think?
I think what impacts me is what goes on a daily basis. I think that there is not one thing, and I do believe, looking back in retrospect, because you meet people and things on a daily basis, and you don't know how they're going to affect your life in the future. And I'll give you an example, right? Mm-hmm. He said he's from Venezuela, Maracaibo. I worked in Grenada to build a hotel. And this is after Ronald Reagan came in and took over the island of Grenada. And when I came there was 1988. It was recently after the Marines were there and they went in to go to the medical school. But there was still, on the airport strip, there was still the factories and the storage where the East Germans brought their telephones in. The plans were done in Russian. And then the people who did the construction were the Cubans. So they had the Cubans, the East Germans, and the Russians working together to build this airport strip. They had old phones and things like that, which were relics. Yet, when I came, I was a recently graduate architect, just licensed. But just a few years before that, I was in Europe when Chernobyl happened. Mm-hmm. So I was in Germany, and we swam across to Czechoslovakia, and it was still with the wall. So you see these things in perspective later on in life, and you reflect, and the dots start to connect, right? And so what happens is that when you look in retrospect on Gorbachev, what he did about knocking the wall down and unifying Europe, for example, was a big step. Yet at the same time, people from Venezuela or Cuba here in Florida people voted communism into control of Venezuela. When I started there, it was not communist. It was still open. Maduro was not there.
Right.
People have a revolution to bring that good-looking guy to Cuba, right? What's his name? Fidel Enche.
Fidel Castro.
Enche. You know, you say to yourself, why do those people come in?
Oh.
Again with the lights, you see? They want us to go home. So that's it.
Okay.
But, you know, people through life have these things. And I work in Cuba with Cuba and Club Med and so forth. And it still was ongoing. But today, it's much more open. Everybody has an iPhone. They can talk, they can communicate, they can connect Wi-Fi to each other. So the open lines of communication between the 8 billion people that we have here in the world, which will be shrinking in the future, is an interesting phenomenon we're in. I'm 63, and I think that what will happen in the next 20, 30 years, it will be radically different than what happened in the past 20, 30 years, and I've been lucky to be alive.
In what sense? What do you mean?
I think that people will be much more open and understanding to each other. There'll be trials and tribulations with the misinformation and the fake information,
right,
rather than the lack of information. But it will be a curve, because it takes a while for people to understand the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. It takes a while for that information to come in. It's a design. When I was designing the surf club, I gave you an example. People said, oh, it's a dumb, don't pay any attention to it.
Right.
In retrospect, they did a 180. Same thing happened in other projects that we have done. I did historic preservation and restoration and created a value. I'm doing it now in the Raleigh. I'm doing it on the Shore Club. I'm doing it on the Ritz. I'm taking potentially what was good and making it better. And that is important to do in life, whether you're an architect, a furniture maker, a camera maker, whatever it is that you do to make it better, to improve it. And, you know, somebody once told me, you know, Kobi, the wheel was invented 5,000 years ago. It was stone, it was round. Then they made it into wood. And then somebody put rubber on it, and somebody inflated that rubber, the tire, and so that you can drive it 280 miles an hour on a tubeless tire on an alloy rim. That evolution took 5,000 years. But the past 100 years since the car was invented, the evolution of the human race is substantially faster. When I was working in the Caribbean with beepers, fax paper, you know, that was a different time in St. Lucia. The hotels were building. Today, I can draw it up, sketch it up, AI it, and, you know, text it to you, send it to you immediately live. There is very limited holding us back today.
Right. We're moving so fast. It's exhausting.
And some people are afraid of it. And some people are scared of it. But I think it's good. Overall, on a macro, I think it's very good.
Just to wrap it up, you always knew you wanted to be an architect, by the way?
I did not. I did not know what an architect does, but I was good at sketching and drawing. And I was good at listening and watching. And as I got older, I got to know what an architect does. And I liked the ability to create spaces.
Nice.
I like to have unique spaces. Like we're sitting here with a glass wall, projecting
love.
over. It's a different, and it doesn't have to be
super
big.
Creative.
Right.
Love that.
And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be effective.
Right. And what about Israel? You go back a lot. You have a place there.
I have been working in Israel for a long time. I just finished a project there for Bar Ilan University. I'm working for another developer, confidential now because they're marketing it out. We work for Hajjaj Brothers. We were and where the old port is. We just finished a project, but we work in partnership with local architects in Israel, adding the value that we can bring to the table. Meaning the way I see things and the way I feel things is different than what other people do. And that's the added value that we can bring. And we do it in Israel, and we do it in Callao.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Kobi, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
So nice.
Come by more often.
Yes, I will. I'll come by more often.